It is downtown TJ Brown, who is ready to get back to work on October the 14th, Saturday at the UFC Apex. A little more than a week away right now, TJ. I guess what does it feel like for you getting ready to get back to work after 6 months out of the cage?
Man, it feels great, dude. I'm just excited to get back in there, man. I've got a great matchup ahead of me, man. So just excited, man. Excited.
Yeah, one that looks on paper like it should be a lot of excitement. I want to talk about your last one. It was exciting as well. I know losses always sting, but I do wonder when they come along with a $50,000 bonus check, does that take away a little bit of the hurt at least?
Man, it definitely helps for sure. That performance was tough on me, man, because I was going out there. I felt better than ever, dude. I was landing some good shots. I was just performing, put on one of the best performances I've ever had. Then I get caught with the elbow, but man, it was what the fans wanted, man. I know you guys enjoy those kind of fights, and I enjoy entertaining. So it was a win.
I always wonder what happens after fights like that because you're right, right? I mean, those are the kind of fights that we want to see, but at the same time, you don't want to take losses. So when you go back, is it like, damn, we got to go to the drawing board, we got to change some things, or can you take some solace in the fact that, like, hey, man, sometimes you just get caught and like that was a damn battle, and that's how legends get made in this sport.
Sure, man. For me, I had to look at what I could have done better, and for in that instance, man, there was a lot of things I need to work on. For one, I didn't take that fight as seriously as I should have. I wasn't living the way I should have been living. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm going on like 130 days sober now. I'd been drinking quite a bit, partying and whatnot, and I wasn't training right for that fight. I wasn't living right, man, and that was the main thing I wanted to go fix is go out and get healthy mentally and physically, and so I can reach my potential in the sport.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I did want to ask you about that. I mean, what? So obviously that journey of sobriety is not an easy one, man. I know it's a challenge, but what did get you there? Where you're like, I got to make the change? Was it the result of that fight, or was it something else that made you say, I got to make some changes in my life?
Yeah, I'd say, man, I just wasn't the fighter nor the father that I wanted to be. My life was slowly just going downhill quick, man. So I seen there was some change I needed to make in my life. I wasn't happy, man. I was dealing with some like mental health issues, dealing with some old traumas, and there's these things called feelings, and believe it or not, you got to deal with them. So man, just I wasn't in a good place, man, and I need to make some changes, and that's what I did.
That's awesome, man. 130 days is fantastic. I mean, have you noticed the changes already? I mean, I know it's one day at a time, but I mean, at that point, I think your body, your mind, I gotta think things are a lot different in that span of time.
Yeah, I think I've seen benefits physically, mentally, and spiritually, man. I'm just in a better place. Like my focus is better. I'm 33 years old, but man, I feel better than I have in years, man. My mind is so much clearer. My body's running so much better. I'm just in a so much better place. In the gym and out of the gym. I've got a better relationship with my son, a better relationship with the people in and out of the gym, with family. Man, everything is better, man. Everything's better.
That is awesome, man. And we should say, by the way, we're talking about this last fight as being a loss and a bonus, but back-to-back bonuses in the span of 4 months, right? You're on the right side of a bonus as well, so we're not acting like you're just getting that pity money out here. You know what I mean? You had a big performance as well. So, look, I know that back-to-back bonuses isn't exactly like you can retire now kind of money, but I got to think that had a nice impact on your life financially.
Man, it helps so much, man. Just having the ability now to just be a full-time fighter it's a beautiful thing, man. Like I get to go train and focus on that, and focus on my son, and that's what's most important. I like fighting. Like I don't exactly just love hurting people or fighting, but I do love the lifestyle I'm able to live on this journey. And man, I do love competing, and I love performing. So it's just it's beautiful how things are coming together now.
That's awesome, man. So what's sweeter, picking up a UFC win or watching your kid in the Little League World Series?
That's tough, bro. I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
You know, the high of a fight victory in the UFC is pretty high up there, man. There's no doubt about it. So, listen, you mentioned being a full-time fighter. So, is this the first after these bonuses? Is this the first time in your career that you've been able to be full-time?
Well, I've been able to do it for the last couple fights. But dude, I just it's having my head on straight this go around has been such a huge difference, like going into training not hungover, being a bit sharper on the match, being able to be present both in the gym and out of the gym with my kid. It's just, man, it's such a better life, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, well, listen, it all leads to this next one, Darren Elkins. I mean, you talk about guys that you're going to be in a battle with. That's going to be a fight. I mean, I got to think just kind of psychologically, mentally, you got to get yourself ready when you go in there with him.
Yeah, man. I believe if you asked him or someone else, they say the same thing about me, man. A dog knows a dog, and you guys are in for a treat, man. Let's just be honest. This is a fan favorite fight, and it's going to be an absolute banger. Now, look, man. Let's not get confused. Like I think Darren Elkins is a OG. I have nothing but respect for him, but man, I think there's a time limit on everything, man, and he's not the same Elkins as he was, and I have to go out there and expose that. Again, no disrespect. I have nothing but respect for him, but I have to go out there and do my job, and I have to put him away.
Yeah, that's a guy that's been through some battles for sure, man. He's put on some memorable nights. So I do wonder about that. Like you talk about putting him away. I mean, is there any kind of like conversation about like, hey, making sure that, if you got him hurt in the first round, maybe you don't empty the tank just yet trying to get him finished because he might still be there a little bit. I mean, do you have to, approach things in that manner?
Man, you're exactly right. I think he's made a living on being able to take damage and continue to keep going. And the worst thing I could do in this fight is go out there and get overexcited in the first round, blow my wad, or just lose focus for a minute. So that's something I've really been focusing on in my training camp, is just keeping focus for 15 minutes and being prepared to battle for 15 minutes.
Yeah, you said you kind of gotten that reputation of being a dog for sure. Are you okay with that? Like, is that enough for you to know that, like, hey, I want to watch you fight when you go in there. Like, I know that when you step in the cage, I'm getting a fight. Like, is that enough for you, or do you feel like, no, man, we got to get this thing going up the hill and talk about rankings and titles and all that?
That's actually a great question, man. I'm glad you asked. Like, I think I've got that feather in my cap, a dog, like a guy that puts on exciting fights. But again, man, it's time for me to start putting on the performances that I know I'm capable of doing. Like, if you ask guys back home, I'm still not fighting to my full potential. And man, I want more than anything to just show the world really how good I am. And man, I've got an opportunity to do that next weekend, and that's the plan.
I love it, man. So I guess last thing for me, what is the overall goal here? I mean, obviously victory, of course. It's probably going to be a battle against a guy like Darren. But is there something you want to show, or a particular type of performance you want to have to show the world your evolution, to make the sacrifice that you're making in your life changes worth it?
That's a really another good dude. You're coming with some good stuff today. Man, I first and foremost, I want to go out there and perform to my full capabilities. That means putting on patient pressure, going on there, making this guy miss and making him pay, hitting him with some good stuff, and just performing. And that means on stand up and on the ground. And dude, when I'm done, man, when I get in that winner's circle and I'm in that post fight interview, I want to talk about sobriety. I want to talk about recovery. I want to talk about mental health and how I've battled with it. And I know there's other people in this sport and out of the sport that may be dealing with some things like this. And I just want to tell them it's okay to ask for help, man. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to look for help, and it's out there. And man, my life is getting better, and I want to be an example for that, and be like, man, if this guy can do it, you can too. And yeah, that in a perfect world, that's what would happen.
That's awesome. I love it, man. I love that guys like you can do that. I mean, you guys literally are the baddest dudes on the planet, stepping there, doing the craziest thing ever. And if you guys have the bravery to say, like, hey, man, look at what I do for a living, and guess what? I need some help sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got this thing all figured out either. And I face those same fears and battles and anxiety that you do, it's okay. You can get through it. I think that can be a powerful message.
Yes, brother. Thank you for that.
Awesome, brother. Well, listen, man, we're looking forward to it. Like I said, it looks amazing on paper. Can't wait to see it October 14th at the Apex. Wish you the best of luck. Maybe nab that third straight bonus. Could be performance of the night. Could be fight of the night. Could be either one. We'll tune in next Saturday and check it out.
Thank you, brother.